Hey everybody, and welcome back to More Than Just a Dog. My name is Kayla, and today we're talking about NQing, because I've done it a lot recently. For those of you guys who are new to the sport, NQing in obedience, rally, and many other dog sports basically just means that your dog didn't complete an exercise the way that they were supposed to. So in obedience, for example, there are minor infractions or minor faults is what they're usually called. Things like skipping a front or skipping a finish usually results in a significant amount of points off, but you could still qualify the exercise. But for example, let's say that I'm doing command discrimination with Callie, hypothetically, and she does her stand perfectly well. I go out, she does her down perfectly well. I leave again, and this time I ask for a sit, but for whatever the reason, she chooses to recall to me instead of sitting, again, hypothetically. That's considered an NQ. So there's like principal parts of an exercise that your dog has to complete in every exercise in order to get a qualifying score at the end of the performance. And I have not received a qualifying score with Callie in I think over a year at this point. I think it was last June that she received her 195 and her first leg toward her CDX out of Open A. And since that time, she's NQ'd something like 7 or 8 times over the course of the last year. And it's always something different. Like sometimes it's that she doesn't go out over the jump for the retrieve over high. Sometimes she doesn't come back over the jump. Sometimes she misses the sit signal for command discrimination, which I still don't really know how she did, but here we are. She's also missed the stand signal for command discrimination. There are times where she's needed a second call for the broad jump. Like it's something different every time we go out and do a trial. So I know she can do the whole performance because she practices it, but also because she's done each individual performance perfectly well in competition. And then for whatever the reason, the last several times we've got in the ring, she doesn't put it all together at the same time. Super annoying. But I think it's important to talk about when you NQ. It was actually one of the reasons that I wanted to start this channel and start talking about dog sports and obedience in particular, because obedience has a really high rate of NQing, but we don't talk about it. I remember it was years ago, I don't know, probably 3 years ago now. I was driving home from a dog show and I was on the phone with my coach slash instructor slash friend, Linda, who didn't go to that particular trial with me, and she was asking me like how Maya did. And she NQ'd something. Honestly, I don't even remember what she NQ'd, but at the time, I remember being upset because I remember being like, oh my gosh, I cannot get her to qualify. Like we'd had a streak of like 3 or 4 NQs in a row. And I was frustrated because I just, for whatever reason, just was like, had bad luck at the time. And I remember saying, like referencing a couple people like in the dog obedience community and being like, they never NQ. And she was like, well, that's not true. You just either A, haven't seen them do it, or B, no one posts about their NQs, right? Like no one goes on social media and says like, hey, my dog NQ'd today. So I want to start a trend. Like I want to tell you that my dog NQ'd today. I want to tell you that I have planned videos celebrating Callie's CDX because I've been so sure that she's going to get it that weekend. Because all of her training leading up to the show has been amazing. And then for whatever the reason, she doesn't put it together at the actual trial. But then I never followed up and made a video about how we didn't qualify, which was the thing that 2 or 3 years ago I was complaining about, is that we're not sharing when we don't qualify. And it can make you feel like super alone. It can make you feel like you're the only one who's not experiencing success on a regular basis, right? It's so easy to like look at that probably golden retriever, right? Like look at that golden retriever who like never NQs, or look at that border collie who has an Och 9 or whatever it is. It's so easy, especially in obedience. It's so easy to feel like you are the only one who's not succeeding. But just because you're NQing doesn't mean you're not succeeding. NQing is just a part of the sport, right? You could be the greatest of all time in the sport and you're still going to NQ every once in a while at least, right? I mean, Mike Trout is arguably the best baseball player of all time, and he still has days where he goes 0 for 4. And Tom Brady is considered the best quarterback of all time, but he still threw interceptions. And Simone Biles is categorically the best gymnast of all time, but she still falls off the beam. Like it happens to the greatest of all times. I'm definitely not the greatest of all time. So NQing is definitely going to happen to me. And it's going to happen to you too. And I kind of want to get in a habit of telling people when I NQ, because I think it would make people feel less alone. And I think that it would make obedience feel more real and also more doable. It's so easy to get discouraged because obedience does have a high rate of NQing. But I heard a judge say this a couple weeks ago. She was saying, like, if you come into this ring, it was an open ring, if you come into this ring and you NQ, all it means is not quite. And even so, even if you NQ, you have still done more with your dog than other people, than the vast majority of other dog owners could dream of doing. And that's true too. So I NQ'd at my last trial with Callie, but she was still awesome to be in the ring with. I still love working with her, but we NQ'd. And it's okay that we NQ'd, because I still believe that at some point we're going to Q. I just don't know when. If you love dog sports as much as I do, then I hope you hit subscribe and ring the bell. That way you get alerted every single time we post a new video. And whether you Q or you NQ next time, whatever it is you choose to do with your dog, good luck and have fun.